Hey, welcome back to Life with Paulette. And today, guys, is happy Sunday for you guys. Hope all is well. And we're going to get right into it. First, I want to say hello to all of my moderators that's already up in here. Shout out to Sister Georgina. As y'all can see, she's doing something a little bit different. I can't see hardly myself. Y'all know these wide chest little shoulders that I have is having me in this little vertical thing. So hopefully all the voicing and everything is looking okay on your side. Please let me know how's the sound. Let me know what y'all seeing on your side. Okay. But today I wanted to just give a shout out to Sister Georgina. Thank you guys for coming in. By the way, if you're coming in to Life with Paulette for the first time, go ahead and hit that like button. Over here, we want to make sure we continue to inspire, encourage, motivate and empower one another. And by the time you leave here, hopefully you all feel a little bit better than when you came in. We just want to make sure we're dropping some gems, a few little tips here and there so that you can improve you. Because that's what it's all about. I normally come on Monday, not Monday, by the way, on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. On Sunday, basically, we do the live and we do our let's talk type of stuff. And today, as you all notice, the title is Cut Them Off. Okay. And I know a lot of you are like, what? I don't know what I'm going to talk about. We just going to talk about cutting them off. Okay. And by the way, not only that, right now I did my 90 days, guys. I decided that I was going to come on here with you guys and, working on increasing my watch time, working on getting monetized as well. I'm letting y'all know that ahead of time because that's really why I'm on every day now. Otherwise, it will go back to normal where I will just be on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. And on my channel, for those that's new, that's just popping by and dropping in, we talk about health. We talk about skincare, hair, natural hair. By the way, I have a 4C type hair. We talk about my faith walk. We talk about adventures. I like hiking, outdoor adventures. And also, we do a little bit of vlogging. So we do a little bit of everything on this channel as well, and juicing too. But today we're going to talk about a little bit of self-development. I want to make sure and share a few tips here and there with you guys and just talk, just have a conversation, just talk. Hopefully you guys can also, drop your comments or questions or how you feel or add to the conversation. But today we're talking about cutting them off. And basically, I want to speak to the greatness that's inside of each of you today. We're going to wake it up a little bit just to make sure that you know that you got that greatness inside of you. And we're going to tap into that, okay? Because God never promotes the crowd. He's going to make sure and isolate you and take you out of the crowd so that you can work through your assignment alone. And before any type of elevations, that we have to separate ourselves and we must leave in order to arrive. So I don't know, that sounded like a whole lot right there, but anytime God is going to move you because you have your own assignments, each and every one of us is uniquely built. We're different. We are on our own assignment, and God basically give us those assignments so that we can do his will. Okay. So most of the time when we have our unique assignment, the old you has to separate itself from the crowd. Okay. And I'm just going to just go right into it. We're going to talk about our surrounding, our upbringing, our past. A lot of us come in on our faith walk or any type of walk in life, even if you're not on a faith walk and you just on a journey called life, in order for you to be promoted, you first must go through your pruning and isolation. And what is proning, you guys may say, that is where you're going to be in your own little unique cell, and God is going to tear everything off of you and rebuild you back up so that you can go out there and complete your task. And he always going to make sure that you are stripped from head to toe. And then sometimes we must also disconnect ourselves from the old as well. I know growing up, we were all about friends. We have this friend, the next friend, even some family members, that will take us to our old ways. I was talking earlier to a sister, and, she mentioned about, back in the day in her phone, she had multiple friends, and they would tease her because she had so much friend, and she would tease her other friends in regards to having less than friend, little 2 to 3 friends. And as older as you go, I know I mentioned to you guys a few videos back that there are 3 types of friendship, and you must find the smallest group, and that's the one that we call confidants. And on your growth or your faith walk, you're going to go through different seasons of your life that you're going to have people that come into your life that's just there for to help you through that season. And sometime when you leave that season into your other season, we as human beings tend to drag that old unique individual. The assignment was to just get us from that point A to point B, and we must go on by ourselves. But we don't like to be alone. We're human beings. I know you all don't like to be alone either, right? So most of the time, what we do, we hinder our growth because we don't know how to let go. We don't know how to go through life and look at every individual as an assignment from God, and whatever assignment He's leading you on with them may be just temporary. Some people is in my life just for that season, for that probably a month, and all of a sudden you're like, where did that person go? Have you ever wondered that you had a group of friends, or you all started out in high school, right? Or from pre-kindergarten, just an example, so you guys can see where I'm going with this. You start up from kindergarten, primary, and you end up secondary. What happened? Primary to middle school, you have a group of friends, right? And then all of a sudden, people move on. They separate, they travel, they go different places. They end up moving from one town to the next town, and you have to figure it out. And then the Lord will send you new people in your life to help guide you through that lonely moment that you're going through. By the time they leave, you already forgot them. You got new friends now. Now you're in middle school. Now you're moving on to high school. You get to high school, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, what happened to that little group of people? They leave and they go, because some folks is just temporarily in our lives. And you would see the ones that's on the route for permanency with you, because God is going to reveal them. A lot of time on our faith walk, we start our faith walk. I'm talking to the one that's on their faith walk, and we have friends. I have friends that's not on my faith walk. I always share with you guys. I'm the only one actually in my family. And I found out through holiness that I have another cousin that I didn't even know that was my cousin that's also in holiness. So that was a like, wow, I found out about a family member that I didn't even know I had on my faith walk. So that was a plus right there. So now I can't say I'm the only one in the family. I have to say I'm the only one in my immediate family that's on my faith walk in holiness, and everybody else is on their different journeys. Now, we may not associate the same because things that they'll do, I'm no longer in that mental space. God has isolated me in this moment in time in my life to, going out and doing certain extracurricular activities that back in the old Paulette probably would have been like, yeah, no problems. We can go and sit down. I ain't going to drink, but I'll watch you drink. Now I'm in a position where I'm not going to put myself in a position where, people can point fingers at you like, well, didn't you say you were in holiness? What are you doing sitting down in that little area? I know you don't drink, but you're still putting yourself in a situation that other folks will judge you on. So tries to get ourselves out of situations that people will like isolating yourself and pruning and growing. The old things that we used to do, we may have to start eliminating. Okay. Do I love my family? Yes, I do. Do I care for my families and friends and genuinely really care for them, even though they're not on the same walk as me? Yes, I do. I still have feelings for my family. Nothing changed. It's just that the things that you used to do, you don't no longer do. The things like walking around and have my head covered, that is second nature. You know, do I like it all the time? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. No, it's hot right now in Hawaii. It's very hot. Do I want my head tied? No, I'm home. I want it off, but I cannot because it goes against the grain and it's not part of the bylaws. Right? We must always present ourselves covered. And you know, right now I'm praying that I can get through this conversation. So thank God I have my head covered so that I can pray through this conversation because I don't know what's next that's going to come out of my mouth, but I know we're going to be talking about cutting them off, right? And isolating ourselves. And when God move us from one position to the next position, that don't mean that he just don't like us or he hate us. It just means that he has bigger things for us in the future that we can't see yet, but we got to go through the process of isolation in order to see what he has on the assignment that he has for us. We have to pass the test, right? An example I wanted to bring up was, you remember Abraham when God told him to leave the people and your father's house, you know, and he told him to go to the land that he showed him. So first of all, he tells us we got to leave. There's nothing or nowhere where God tell us that we have to stay comfortable where we at doing wickedness or doing whatever, all the stuff we were doing in our past, that it's okay. No, he always say move. He always will tell us to remove ourselves from where we're at comfortable in that comfort zone and separate ourselves and move to the location that he tells us to go to. A lot of times that uncomfort is what most of us don't like the feeling of because we like to stay right there. We love to be in that spot where it's like, you know what? I want my cake and I want to eat it too. You know, I want to be able to still hang around here and there. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say, oh, when I say cut it off, it don't mean that I can't say hi to you from a distance. It don't mean that I can't talk to you, you know, and say, hey, how you doing? Respectfully on the phone or whatever. It's just that it's certain things that I no longer do. So if you want to go out and do something that I no longer do, I need to set my boundaries. So when you cutting people off, that is not being mean. You could cut people off without all the meanness within it. What you're doing is obedience. God called you to separate yourself from certain packs. When it called, you know, the little peanut gallery, we must separate ourselves because we must soar with the eagles. And in order to soar with the eagle, we must first go through the process of figuring out who you are. Most of us are walking around and we're like, we're on our fate walk, but you don't know who you are. You don't know the greatness inside of you. You don't know what your purpose is. Many don't know what their purpose is. You don't know why you're here. You're just here. We're just in existence and walking around. Many of us, you know, go through life, never figure out why you're here, go into the graveyard. The most wealthiest people are in the graveyard. You know why? Because there's dreams that was never accomplished. There's industries and building that was never built because they kept it in. They did not take action towards their growth. They did not take action towards their dreams. I enjoyed Pastor's sermon today. He said something so profound. He talked about faith without works is dead. If you guys are having issues financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically right now, and you're complaining that, Lord, I'm going to just wait for the Lord to, you know, fill me up spiritually. Guys, come on. You have to put the work in. You have to take action in order to get to the point so God can activate. God needs you to move so he can activate his supernaturalness. Okay. So example, if I say, Lord, I need a job or I need income or I need that finance, like what Pastor said today, what is it that you're doing towards it? When last did you put in a new resume? When last did you walk there and face a manager or ask for a job at these different locations? How much locations are you dropping off your resumes to? Like, what actions are you taking towards your goals and your dreams, or your lack of? Because a lot of time we're lacking of this, so we can't proceed forward. And God is like, no, if you move, I can make way. We need to start moving more. We need to start cutting off the things that is hindering us, letting go of the old, so that we can see what God is trying to lead us and guide us to. Like I always say, we are here, guys, not for our own will, even though we have the freedom to choose, but we are here because of God's will, what he wants with us, how he going to use us. When I woke up this morning, I said, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I'm grateful. You know why? Because I have another day to try and figure out, well, Lord, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do the next thing. What do you want to do? Guide me, Father. And he'll guide me this way or guide me the next way, because I am not my own boss. Okay. I belong to the Creator. And he's the one that has a purpose for me. And I need to figure out how to slow down and not jump ahead of the horse. Okay. Because I'm just the carriage. Okay. He's the rudder. I may be the boat, but he's the one that's steering everything for his glory and his will. So when we cutting it off, sometimes it may hurt us, because the pessimistic, the negativities that's in our life, we can't drag that into the next season. We have to move, guys. And sometimes it hurts to move, because it may be your own family members that you may need to adjust your sail with. It may be that same family members that you may have to be like, you know what? I need to spend a little bit lesser time with this individual, because every time we meet, it don't end well. Every time we meet, this individual takes me back to my old behavior, where I have to use my sharp tongue, where I have to be the old that I used to be, where I have to probably, use vocabularies that you don't want to be. And I'm talking in general, because you all understand what I'm saying. I'm giving you guys different options out there. Not that, oh, Paulette, wah, wah, wah. No, 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 no. We're talking about us. This conversation about cutting off is about us. Okay. And I know that sometimes when we say cut off, it sounds so harsh. It sounds so painful, because you're like, oh my God, I can't cut them off. But we're not doing it out of malice. We're not doing it bitterly. We're not cutting off out of, being petty with it. We are cutting off based upon obedience to God. That's why we're cutting off. Okay. So today's topic, cut off, and God would elevate you alone. You are hindering your growth. You are stagnant in that funky water by yourself, because you don't know how to cut off gently. You don't know how to cut off without all the extra petty. You don't have to be arrogant when you cut people off. You just got to draw boundaries, and people would know where you stand. I don't have to say, I'm not talking to you tomorrow, or I'm not talking to you anymore because, you're not in holiness, or you're not following this. I don't have to do that, guys. I could draw my boundaries, and you would know what I will do and I won't do. Those three types of friend that I talk about. There's always going to be somebody within every season that you go. God will assign something for you, because he wants you to grow. He wants you to be prone. He wants you to develop you for your greatness and for his glory, so you can see who you are in Christ. Okay. So we have the constituents, we have the comrades, and we have those confidants. And I explained that a few videos ago of which one is which. And the constituents, they're the ones that's going on the same road with you. They're all going on a faith walk. Now you on holiness and they're on their faith walk. You have your comrades. They're all going to the same destination. They all say they love God. They're going on the same destination with you. You in holiness, and they are in theirs in their location. However, though, they only going with you for what you have to offer them. The moment they arrive to the destination, you're not a friend. They no longer need you, so they cut you off. Okay, what you're looking on your walk is some confidants, people that you could believe in, that you could trust in. And I know it's not easy, but we only need one to two those confidants. Somebody that's going to look you in the eye and say you're wrong, and you're wrong. They're going to gently give you constructive criticism. Now, constructive criticism is nothing wrong with it. It's how the person interprets it that's on the other end. Because I could give somebody a constructive criticism and their behavior will be, thank you, I appreciate that. And automatically they already know the steps of adjusting themselves, figuring out how they can be a better person tomorrow. Now, you give a constructive criticism to a prideful individual, they're not going to receive it the same way because they feel attacked. And sometimes when pride gets in the way, when a constructive criticism is placed, it can hinder your growth as well. So if you know that you are a prideful individual, and all of us have pride, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. We all have a little bit of it hiding under that big toe. We all have it. If you have that little pride, you got to pray for God to just clear it out of your way, because we can't move forward either with pride. God wants us to stay humble. God wants us to be, I think today I was doing my devotions and it talked about the low degree. And that's a video for another time, because when I heard low degree, I'm not going to lie to you, I thought it was somebody that just didn't have no degree, because I didn't know any better. Okay. So when you came and you said I'm low degree, I was like, oh my God, this person is uneducated. I didn't know. So in the Bible today, I'm telling you, when Pastor also mentioned today that God will talk to you in different ways. Sometimes he could even send a stranger to deliver a message that you need to hear for that day. And I was listening to my devotion and they talked about the low degree. Don't tell me which book of the Bible it was in, because I don't remember, but I just know they're talking about humbleness. But they used low degree and then they went into humbleness. And I was like, oh my gosh, this scripture is like a few months delayed, because I needed to hear this long time ago, so that way when I had hear low degree, I would have known that the person, was not that they was uneducated. It just, they just was humble. That what it meant. I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know. Don't judge me. All right. But I just brought that up because sometimes we just don't know certain things, and you be dumb for that moment. Now that I figured it out and found out what the difference was, I ain't dumb no more. Okay. Now I got it. Got it. Thank you, Lord. But God always will send somebody to deliver a message to you, and it may come from the individual that you're least expecting. Okay. So, let me see what go through your okay. Oh, by the way, the other one, I taking my little notes, guys. I'm trying to check down as I go. It says God can show you your future. He can't show you your future until you let go of your familiar. Sometimes letting go and cutting off is necessary. It's not easy, but it's necessary. And most of the time, our own little circle that we're so used to, that familiarity breeds comfort. That little zone, sometimes we need to get uncomfortable. Sometimes we need to drag ourselves out and stop trying to drag unassigned people into our assignment. Okay. And what I mean by that is God gives you the assignment alone. He didn't give it to you and 10 to 12 other individuals, or 2 to 3 other little, negative Nancy's you want to drag into your next seasons. Well, guess what? They're uninvited and you need to leave them at the door. Have you all ever seen those movies where the guy has to go into the house and, ask for the hand of the girl, and the mom is like, don't even bring him up in here because you saw his family lineage. It's a no for me. You understand me? He can't even make it through the door because the parents already said no. You know, some of those old movies I would watch them and they're like, we don't accept him. His grandmother was a thief. His daddy was a rookie. Her mother was a ditch digger. Like they just be bringing up stuff and they're like, he can't be part of this family. But they X you out by the door. And those old folks back in the day, they didn't have no hair on their teeth. They would just tell you no. And they meant it. They set boundaries ahead of time. So you would know what to expect. Okay. Everybody know how to expect. In my household, everybody know my daddy, they call him the grumpy grandpa. Okay. My mom is the nurturer. My dad is the grumpy grandpa with the biggest heart because he'll cry in 2 seconds. Don't tell him I said that. Okay. But I'm just saying that every family already know who's who. Like nobody gonna come to ask permission to dad because dad answers always no. You want to go and ask mom because mom actually she would at least listen and figure out, okay, who you going with, who's gonna be there. This is what you have to do. I want you home before this time, and you best not get here 1 minute after because you already know to do. That's the type that's the difference. But you already know who you're up against. My grandmother was a no. So nobody went to my grandma, even though she passed along and not here with us anymore. There's a lot of principles and traits that we picked up from her, because we already know grandma, she was already a no. And if you come to her and ask, Grandma, can I go over at so-and-so's house? She's going to give you a story about that cousin that she had that did not listen to their parents. And all of a sudden, this horror story, by the time she finished with the story, you don't even want to go outside of the house. Like literally, those old folks, they will cut it in the bud. They will tell you all the horrible stories because they want to make sure that you was thinking. And at the end of their story, you didn't want to go anyway. You're like, oh, never mind. I don't want to go anywhere. Okay, good. And she'd go about her business. But if I really wanted to go, I would go to mom. And I would say, Mom, can I so-and-so? And mom would say, yes. But you got to ask grandma. I'm like, I don't want to go again. Literally. And that's how we were raised up. She knew her mama was the one that she gave permission in that position. So she will, even though she said yes, she would tell us, you got to go to grandma. And grandma was the one that's going to give you that approval to leave if it was okay or not, because she knew everybody's background, everybody from great grandfathers or so-and-so. So she was like the old experienced lady in the house. So if that family was good, she would say go. If not, you couldn't move. Okay. Oh, I'm going on a tangent, but I just wanted you to know that sometimes you have to go through tough situations in order to move to the other side that's already in place for you, but you can't drag everybody with you. Okay. God assignment for you is unique, is individual, it's just for you alone and not you and the little peanut gallery. Okay. So you got to leave the peanut gallery at the door. You're going to cry, you're going to hug, and you're going to keep moving forward. And you will realize sometime on your assignment, guys, when God give you your assignment and sometime you are isolated and you're like, why all this is going on for me? Why am I feeling so hurt and pain? Why am I going through circumstances and negativities in my life? Lord, why can't I catch a break? And he's like, I'm right here with you. You're not going to get a break yet. But what I have in store for you, I have to prune you. I have to get you and put that pressure on you to see, so you can see who you really are. And you're that diamond, but we're going to go through the roughness right now. But don't worry, because I got big and better plans for you right now. I know feel uncomfortable. Guys, nothing that you do in life, it's going to be comfortable. If you're not feeling opposition, check yourself. Because everything you do in life and everywhere you go through, you're going to have to go through a little opposition. And it ain't nothing but a big thing. It ain't no big thing, guys. It's just a little thing you're going to go through. You're going to get some wounds. You're going to get a little shot here, a little stab there. You're going to go through, you're going to tussle here, tussle there. Just know the faith in knowing that God's promise never fails. And that's all you got to have, the faith in holding on the promise of God. That's all. And you going through the uncertainties of life and learning to let go and cut off should be nothing but a little, 1, 2, 3. Because on the other side, listen, sometimes you got to cut some people off in your life that you dearly love in obedience. That's all you got to do. You're doing it for obedience, because God have an assignment just for you, not for you and the whole clan in the neighborhood clan. You all know what I'm talking about, right? Let me go and see if I'm missing anything. By the way, isolation may feel like rejection, but it's protection. Ain't that great? That we serving a God, or we believe, and not everybody believe in God, but I ain't talking for them today. I'm talking for you all believers out there, for you guys that know who you are in Christ, for you guys that know the greatness that he placed inside of you, that little seed. And today, guys, that little seed that was buried inside of you, that's the seed that I'm speaking to today. That little seed I want to ignite today, because I want us to start using excuses of why you're not growing, and instead check yourself and figure out who you need to cut off in your life. And that's something that you guys need to check down and check yourself on. Who is in your life? Who's in your family that you're holding on to right now that have you stagnant? Who right now is in your surrounding, that friend group that you're hanging out with, that you feeling, I can't grow, but I can't let them go either? Who is keeping you stagnant right now in that location that you know is the wrong location, but you're too weak to cut them off? You know what I'm talking about. We got to cut it off, God. You have to release yourself and break through those chains, so that God could elevate you. And when he elevate you, it's for you. It's your assignment. It's only, the coat was made for you and nobody else it can't fit. Ain't that great? That you're uniquely built and you have a unique assignment that nobody else can't fit in because it was just for you. That's how good God is, guys. So if you're feeling stagnant today, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, Paulette, you know something, you can't get over whatever happened in your past, God forbid, and whatever things that in your childhood that have you traumatized, and you're like, I can't let it go. I want you to cut it off. You got to do the surgery yourself with the help of the good Lord. When you activate, God will come in and activate as well. When you take action, if there's something from your past, if there's family members that you just know that you need to separate from and you don't know how to do it, that friend that you all were like, oh, we've been friends from preschool, and you're a grown man and woman now sitting around one table just oohing and ahhing, and nobody's going nowhere. Sometimes you have to do surgery on yourself. You have to cut them off, and you're not cutting them off arrogantly. You're not cutting them off angrily, bitterly, selfishly. You're cutting them off out of obedience. So today, guys, like Joseph he had to go through some things. I'm sorry, guys. I'm from an island, okay? So Caribbean is what want to come out right now. Sometime a little Spanglish, but at the end of the day, Joseph had to go through some things, okay, in order to arrive at the assignment that God had for him. Okay. So he was thrown in the pit. He was so false. He was falsely accused in prison. And yet he was right where God needed him to be. So sometimes you're going to go through adversities. You may be going through situations, circumstances right now, and you just feel like God has left you. Just know that you are right where he wants you to be. Because if you all know the story of Joseph, I could say less right now. You know what happened. In all the adversities that he went through, at the end, he was right where God could use you. It's not always going to be peaches and creams. It's going to be time in your life where it's going to be hard. It's going to be harsh. You could be going through a financial situation right now and you're like, Lord, why? What? Ooh, ooh. And he's like, you're right where I need you to be. God could use you anywhere you go. If you go in the bottom of the pit, I can use you down there. If I put you on top of the roof, I can use you right there. If I keep you isolated, I can use you from there. Anywhere that you are today in your life, God can use you. And it's it's a reason why you're there. Don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as a positive. Because if you're low today, trust me, he has a plan. You are the main actor in your movie. And the main actors always win at the end. Now, only the Korean movies, you have a little bad, we're in Koreans, though we're going to keep the American, the USA I'm talking about, not the Korean, because all their movies at the end, the head of the movie, there's always devastation. It's never a nice happy ending, but we're going to keep it on the US side. Okay, when you make the movie, when God makes your movie and you are the lead in that movie, the ending is always beautiful. So don't worry about all the ins and outs and ups and downs that you're going to go through in life, because he already have the ending. It's done. It's finished. He's waiting on us to go through the process, go through the fire, and know who's your friend. Your confidant, they're the ones you're looking for. And they're the ones that's going to stick around permanently with you. They're going to go through each season with you. And sometimes we're going to meet them in other seasons, and then all of us will go together. But the ones that you see fall away by the side, don't fight it. It's all in God's plan. If cousin Sue from three cousins down, you and her end up having to go separate ways, don't fight it. It's all in God's plan. Sometimes if your close relative end up in one area and you all move on, separate lives, you still love them from a distance. You're not mad at them, but everything, good, bad, or indifference, is all part of the plan, guys. And you're the winner. You just have to steadfast. Okay, let's see if I'm finishing up here. Let me go through here the chats. How are you guys doing today? Hope all is well. Hello, John Smith. Welcome in. Flemings, welcome in. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. EFP, welcome. Welcome, Brother Uso. Welcome. Hello, Sister Dawn. Greetings. Everybody saying hi to each other. Greetings, Sister Mercy. Hi, Sister Khadijah. Welcome. Thank you guys for hanging out here. Francesca Adonist. Did I say it right? If I didn't say it right, please correct me. But welcome in. You're someone new that coming in. I just appreciate you all from coming in. If you are new up in here, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. And if you all have any questions or concerns, you all just want to share a statement or share something, go ahead and put it in the notes in the comments so we can all read it off for you. Let me go through again. Sister Mercy, I said, let's see. Sister John is talking. Okay, she's talking to Flemings. Georgina, show on stage. Okay. Fleming says, she's saying, we got to show kindness to herself at Paulette by walking away from negative and surrounding yourself with positive. Exactly. That's just what we have to do, sis. You have to show the kindness and respect. Actually, if you're being abused every time you hang around a certain people, you just feel that they pull all the energy out of you. You just feel that every time you hang around that person, they're emptying your soul. You need to stay around from it. You need to draw boundaries and say, you know what? I'm going to go around less, or I may just cut them off, guys. You just got to cut ties. It's okay. It's like an umbilical cord. Okay. That's how you do it. You just got to clip it and move on to better things. You want to hang around friendships and people that make you stretch, that grow, that you grow around. I don't want to hang around people that I'm doing the pulling all the time. I, if you're always the one to gas people up, if you're always the one to be pulling people, it's only a matter of time that you're going to get exhausted. Okay. You want to be in your little circle together with people that everybody is feeding and growing off of each other, and everybody has the same tunnel vision of where you're going to end up going. That's why going on the road with anyone, if you're thinking the different and one is going left, the other one's going right, it's going to be a roller coaster. You're going to be exhausted and tired. That's why I mentioned at the beginning that God will isolate you. You will be separated from the pack. You will be isolated from the rest. And sometimes the assignment that you are going on for God is going to be lonely. It's lonely, guys. It's not an easy walk here. You're going to have to walk alone. Most of the time on your journey, you will walk alone. So that's how we say it. John Smith, it's good to see you. Okay, y'all talking. Sister Tanya. Hello, Sister Tanya. Hope all is well. You know, when I see the A, is it Sister Tanya or Sister Tanya? You correct me, sis. Okay. I want to make sure that I'm saying it right because I say Tanya. Sister Tanya. No, I say Tanya, but I know it's an A, but in my head I say O. So correct me if I'm wrong, sister. Hope all is well. Thank you guys for all that's in here. That's also, just in the background listening. I appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to hit the like button while you're here. Even if you're just passing through, just hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm, it helping you girl with those watch time. Okay, we're working on it. All right, Sister Mercy says, that's right, Sister Paulette. We are living the way that is pleasing to God. The family, right, may not understand or changing, living for God, but once they see it, soon they are going to ask about our God. Amen. Hallelujah. Yes, sister. Amen. Amen to that. They don't understand it. I mean, even in my family, they're noticing because I felt like I didn't need to go and do like a whole roll call. Like, hey guys, watching and no, I want you to see me working on me and your family. They're the ones they'll point that finger real quick because they know you. They know your sharp lips. They know your sharp tongue. They know you. However, though, my family, they know, and they're like, okay, I'm seeing something. Paulette imperfect now. Every once in a while, life be life, and however, though, she thriving. And I know you all thriving too, because everyone on a daily basis has to die. We all die on a daily basis. I tell you, we have to hold our breath throughout the day. But you know what? We make it through. Why? Because we believe and we put action towards it. And we know that when you believe and the action is being in place, that the promise is right around the corner, guys. It's right around the corner. You see how easy that was to analyze? Okay. I hope you all got a little bit of something from what we were talking about prior. I just hope so. Okay. Greetings, Georgina. Love can be excessive and all-consuming. This is Georgina say, love can be excessive and all-consuming. That becomes an unhealthy fixation that leads to detrimental consequences. Our relationship with some people can isolate friendship and other crucial interaction. Yes, Georgina, you're right. And sometimes the relationship, sometimes there's nothing wrong with an individual. They could be good people. They could just not be on your list of calling. They may not be on the assignment. They could be good people. They may be, mean well, but we still got to work on knowing if they're on that assignment with us or not, because if we keep holding on to good people and not obeying what we need to obey, that can hinder us as well. Because people, sometimes we are so attached and we don't know how to detach ourselves. And sometimes cutting off is a little bit harder, but then yet you achieving your pruning and growth process is staggered too, because you're feeling like, well, they're not, no, they're not bad people, I just want to bring them along with me. And mind you, I don't mean that you're going to just block their phone. I'm not saying that type of all that exact, I'm not doing all that. I'm just saying that you don't even have to be harsh with people. You could just start living a life that they don't want to be a part of, and they will be the one to leave. They will be the one to say, you know what, that Georgina, she don't like to go and play the piano no more. So, I guess, we love her, but we're going to continue going to play the piano. And Georgina just stood her ground. She drew her boundaries. And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to go over there. So sometimes, guys, people fall off by the wayside and everybody's go in peace. Okay, you peacefully cut them off, not harshfully trying to chop them off with arrogance and all this bombastic thing. No, 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 no. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about God will set it up for where you can detach yourself from the individually. And I love God to do all the detachment and the cutting as well, because you're going to grow and obey what he's saying. And the people that you used to hang with, they don't want to follow that. Now, some people will follow that and say, you know what, you're doing something different, I want to be a part of. I'm going to follow that. And when you have 2 or 3 people with you going on that same road. I had my niece's hair with me, and it was one day when they decided, I want to do go out. She came out. One of my nieces came out, and I was like, oh no, we're not going. We're not going that place. You got to change what you're wearing. And she's like, Auntie. She's like, but because she thought she was grown, and I'm still Auntie. I don't care how old you is. Okay. So I said, no, you're not gonna wear that. Not around me. I said, you could do that when you're hiding somewhere else and I don't see you. I said, but not with me. So she went in and she changed, and she came out in her long skirt, and she said, oh, Auntie, I'm liking these long skirts. Now, mind you, I didn't have to tell them you all gonna wear a long skirt. I just told them you're not gonna wear that you know, little half a pillowcase in my house. Like, no, you're not gonna wear that. You're gonna put on something with sense, especially if you're hanging with me. So she went on, and then she came back and she said, I love long skirt. I love long skirt. I was like, okay, yeah, you love long skirt. Hi, because Auntie wear long skirts. And the kids see that you could dress up. Now, she didn't have long sleeve, long skirt, but it was just the thought of her trying something different and seeing it with her visually. She felt she liked her long skirt. So guess what? She got all her long skirt most of the time, and she wore them and she enjoyed them. I was like, well, that's a good thing. Kids learn off of observations. So that was a good thing. I know I went on a tangent, but I just wanted you all to know that sometimes people drop off by the wayside without you having to hammer them across the head, without having to have any miscommunications between the lines. It can just be naturally where they just fall off. They want to continue doing the old, and you want to continue on something new. And a few will follow you on your new journey. And then you're going to have a few of them that's going to be like, nah, we're going to just stay here in this funky water. And this, about dead water. You all know about the dead water where all the mosquitoes start to attack it. It's just nasty. Anyway, that's what the old you used to hang out with. Okay, dead water. When you separate yourself from the dead water, guys, you're going to start living. You're going to start seeing things that you've never experienced. And the experience is going to be so pure and so beautiful that you don't even miss the old funky water, because you're in a different territory now, right? You're in the territory of obedience, not the one of disobedience. Okay, the funky water is disobedience. Focus on obedience. Okay, I know you all got the drift. Let me keep going through these notes. Hello, Sister D. Nicole. Hi, Sugarani. How are you? Welcome. Hope all is well. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. I know that Sugarani mentioned that to me today in regards to, she's new to her faith. And I just want you to know, since you're on here, Sugarani, that the ladies in the truth, we do not do like, that Bible study thing that you were asking me in the comments. I read your comment earlier, so I decided if you come on, I was going to respond to you. Okay. However, though, if you're looking for scriptures, if you're looking to go more in depth in the Bible, the fellas is the ones that basically opens up scripture, and you can find Brother Jeremy Dunbar and Flemings. If you are in here, please, can you please share the brothers pages, please, because Sugarani is new to following Pastor Gino, she mentioned, and the sisters, we don't do no preaching up in here. However, though, we do encourage and not the too much encouragement, but we just share a lot of positive on this channel. I think I mentioned it at the beginning, but the fellas, they're the one that opens up the scripture. We have Brother I was going to say AT&T again. Why do I always call him AT&T, Sister Nicole? I'm sorry, but we have Brother TNT and Sister Nicole. They right now is having a marathon of all with the scriptures and Bible studies over there on their channel. So just in case you're still in here, you can go follow TNT Holiness After Dark. They have Brother Dunbar, and he is in. Okay, I can't memorize Brother Dunbar, but there's Jeremy Dunbar. There's Mr. Ham as well. That's basically, they always go on there and they'll share their information on their channel. And then we have the twins. The twin also would come on every Monday. Every Monday at noon, they'll come on live and they'll look at me. I'm just messing with you guys. The brothers, they'll come on every Monday and they'll share a topic. So the guys basically will go into the scriptures, in depth into the scripture. Us ladies, we're just here to promote. So when it comes to the ladies, we have Sister EFB Media, and she also shares awesome topics. And we have Sister Shelly. There's, if you're looking for natural hair and beautiful extra stuff, you have a channel with another sister. Her name is Sister Cover Natural. We have Sister Sashaya. We have a bunch of little sisters and brothers that you can find your safety spot and come over and support every once in a while, because we all have something out there for you. EFP will come on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or sometimes Saturday, or sometime every day. The brother there, Jeremy, will come on every day at 1 p.m. I don't know, I think Eastern, not Hawaii, on Hawaii time. So it's probably 4 or 5 o'clock your time. Then we have Sister Shelly. She does a lot of the short videos on her channel as well. And TNT mainly comes on Thursdays. I think it's Monday and Thursday, and occasionally a Sunday. I'm not 100, because right now, congratulations to him and his wife. They just had a new baby, so I guess they're going to be rolling out new plans and new structure in the next few weeks. So just stay tuned. But go ahead and support all the other channels. The males does all the opening up of scriptures. The females, we just here to motivate each other and make sure that we keep each other, I will call accountable on those 10Ks, that we do. But we just try to keep it as positive as possible, and just try to keep each other knowing that we got to keep pushing through. Okay, so Sugarani, welcome again. Go over there, support the brothers and the sisters, and just find your space and enjoy yourself. And welcome to the Holiness Walk. It's a beautiful walk. It's tough, but I know you can do it, because you're a woman. You tough. Okay, we got this. Yes. All right. Let's see, Sister Nicole. Oh, yes, this is a very good subject, Sister Paulette. Oh, thank you, Sister Nicole. I am still hurting, but I'm hanging in there and it's getting better day by day. Oh, she was talking to Sister Mercy. I'm so happy to hear that you are doing much better right now. You and the baby. Oh my gosh. I can't wait, sister. Blessing, Sister Davis. Hope all is well with you. Yes. EFP, let's see. I'm seeing laughing. I don't know what I said a few seconds ago. I'll be honest with you, but I know EFP don't miss nothing. She caught something. So I guess we're going to talk after. EFP says, yes. Let's see. Let me show this. EFP say, yes, I love that part of the sermon. God will and can use anyone, even a sinner. Yes, that is definitely it, sis. When Pastor said that, I was like, Pastor, yes, anybody can deliver a message to you. It don't have to be holy. When Pastor said that, I was like, well, yes, Lord. That he answered what I was asking. And that was good to hear him. Just was all up in my brain's DM, fulfilling and answering all the good questions that I had to say. I was like, Lord, well, that mean you can't show me a sign. And Pastor came up with the sign, and he dropped the good goods. He did. He sure did. I loved every little nugget he shared. Was definitely on point. I think everybody was waiting for something. Everything that Pastor shared today. Ronnie, if you have not listened to the message, I highly recommend you go to the Truth of God YouTube channel and subscribe to that channel as well, because once a week, sometimes twice a week, they'll come on live and you get a chance that you can listen in. Okay, so that's awesome. Let's see, Merska, hang in there, Sister Nicole. Okay, she's done. Hello, Mirhan Atainan. Hello, how are you? Welcome into Life with Paulette. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button. Mirham. So y'all know what I was thinking, right? I was like, oh, Mr. Ham did change his name. But no, that's not Mr. Ham, but the M, it just confused me just now. Sorry, Mr. Ham, I just saw the M, okay? But Mirham is in here. Welcome to her. Sister Nicole, okay, she's talking to Sister T Wood, leave them at the door. I said, yeah, you gotta just leave them at the door. We can't take everybody with us, okay? That's why we must work out our own salvation. I ain't got no time to be worried about yours, okay? Paulette gotta work on Paulette, and I gotta love God to elevate me in his timing, and I can't be elevated if you're trying to throw your rocks in my little wagon. Okay, how he gonna be pulling me up and I'm pulling everybody? Lord, take me, and I'm holding on to everybody's little bucket. And no, it don't work like that. Drop those buckets. Look, drop it, and you isolate yourself. And when I say isolate yourself, don't mean you're gonna hide away in the closet. It don't mean that you're gonna just, go into hibernation. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm meaning like you're gonna be going through things and go through your stuff in silence. Take it to God. I love God to help you with what you need, because he knows the antidote. You see, when we're going through stuff, we like to take it to King Mucky Muck and Dr. King Ducky Duck from down the street, and we're trying to figure out if they know how to solve world, whatever. They don't know, guys. They don't care. Take your issues to God, because that's where you're going to find the result. You ain't going to find the news carriers. You're going to find the answers when you do it the right way. Okay. Uso Drago, T Wood, John Smith. God bless you all. God bless you, John Smith. I'm so happy to see you, brother. Thank you for coming by in these chats. I saw you were the first one that came in and do your thing. I'm so excited to see you back, brother. And welcome. And please don't isolate yourself. Don't be going in hibernation without saying something again. Okay. I'm just saying. Sorry about that. As you all see me glistering, it's hot up in this place. Okay. Sugar Ronnie say, I know that's right. Yes, girlfriend. Yes. Okay, Sugar, wonderful evening. Okay, they're talking EFP. Amen. Sister Barker. What did Sister Barker say? Let me see. I'm missing something, sis. Ooh. If definitely, okay, there we go. It's definitely does state the foolish things to confound the wise, Sister EFB. Oh, true. Look at Sister up in there. Hello. Not sure who's Virgil. Virgil's talking. Welcome, Virgil. Not sure what you mean over there. God bless you all. I know that's right. Let's see. Anybody else have anything else up in here? John Steele, hope all is well with you, brother. Mr. Ham, good to see Mr. Ham. Where's Mr. Ham? I don't see Mr. Ham up in here. Is Mr. Ham up in here? What? I don't see Mr. Ham up in. Wait. No, that's not Mr. Ham. Oh, you thought it was Mr. Ham too? I thought it was Mr. Ham too. It's not Mr. Ham. It is Mirhan. See, Mr. Ham, somebody's trying to take your name. Okay, that's Mirham, not Mr. Ham. I thought so too. I think that's who you're talking about. Okay, so Sister Dawn was greeting Mr. Ham, but I don't see Mr. Ham. Blessings, Sister Davis. I'm going through these comments, guys. I'm so sorry. Georgina say, yeah, sometimes in that pruning process, you just can't or don't react. Just cut without notification. Flemings, how you know that? You better believe it. Sometimes we must just cut without notification. You just got to just go in there and just snip it. You know, we were talking a few days ago to one of my sisters, and I was like, they're like, Paulette, how do you do it? I was like, I'm so used to cutting people and putting them on my expiration shelf that I'm used to that. All my life, that's how you do. I don't argue with you. I ain't gonna have no fuss with you. I just adjust my sale. I have no control of you, but I have control of me and my actions. And you be going on the expiration shelf, which is all the way in the bottom, not to be pulled out no time soon. And all of the ones that's on the top shelf, y'all already know who you are. So at the end of the day, I don't detach myself to nobody. I don't attach myself to nobody. You know, I'm easily able to remove at any time. And maybe that's just how my life I've learned, because I've been hurt a lot of time with all this, you know, the friend, the friend, like what's EFP say, your friend, she been have, things where she had to be like, I put too much into that one. I need to pull back. So in life, you're going to learn who's your confidant. You're going to learn your constituents who are there for themselves. All those friends that's just looking out for what you can give them. And the moment you draw boundaries, they're out. Okay, so you're going to know the real friends in your life. The ones when you draw a boundary, they're just constituents. Know the difference. Constituents and confidants can be confused, okay? Because of the same friends, they smile in your face, and everything out of them is always, high five, girl, you're doing it right. You keep going. And the moment you say, they're gone. So they were just pastime. Whatever they could get from you, they're gonna take. They never added nothing to you. They're only there to take. Okay, so I call them the takers. And then you're gonna have the comrades, and they're the one that both of you all are going on the same path. I will call them, they have the holiness walk ones, and then they have the other side that's not in holiness. They all say they love God. They're just going on different routes, and they're knowing him differently. The holiness, we see one, and you have the other ones that they see three. Enough about that, but y'all know what I mean. But they're still going, they say they love God, so they're all aiming for the same, but they're not the same. Know the difference. Know who your comrades are. Don't get confused and all like, hey, we're hanky dory, we're best friends. Yeah, we're going up that hill together. Know the difference. Know who your opponent is, and know who you're walking next to, and know that only you can put the next foot forward, because only you can make the decision to make the right decision and not get confused with all the noise. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to move on. Let's see. Mercy Carr. Amen. That's right, Sister Paulette. You are going to get bruised here and there, for real, for real. But continue standing strong. I must say, yes, indeed. Yeah. You are going to go through life, and just when you feel like you're at the end of the end of the barrel, that's where God be like, that's just where I'm gonna use you at. So some people have start out with past that they're like, God could never use me. And he's like looking at you, probably like, what are you talking about? You're gonna be the next, I'm gonna elevate you to be ordained as a minister. He's looking at that young man that had a troubled past, and he's like, you're gonna be the next evangelist, you're gonna be the next doctor, you're gonna be the next president, elevation. But in order for God to elevate us, he got to isolate. So when you're in isolation, it don't mean that you're being forgotten. It just meaning that you're being prone. You're being prepared. You're growing for his purpose. And that's where you're going to find your purpose to do God's will. In the proning, in the trenches, in the pain, in the crying. Oh my gosh. That's where you're going to find yourself, guys, on your knees, hollering sometimes, screaming others, That's where you're going to find it. That's where you're going to find who you are, okay, in isolation. Okay, example like David. David was anointed. It said David was anointed in front of his brothers, but he was developed in the fields. Did y'all get it? Do I need to read it again? David was anointed in front of his brothers. Remember, he had to go in isolations too. But remember, he was in the field. Where did they found him when God called him? Where was he? In the fields. Cutting and learning how to do everything probably from the bottom up. We be complaining and we go into an office, God forbid, and we got to make coffee. Or we have to, throw the trash out. Oh, I was not assigned for this, but that's what you have to do. You got to learn from the bottom up. How you going to run a company? How do you think the managers that, who have a nice business, what I want to say, McDonald's, their business model. You got to start from scratch. You're gonna go through that whole conveyor belt. You be flipping fries. You're gonna be the fry person. You're gonna be the hamburger person. You're gonna go through the whole thing, and then at the end, you can be a manager. Well, that's how God does with us. You're gonna go through the dirt. You're gonna be from the bottom to the top. But you're gonna make it. But you already know that your assignment is gonna be the manager. You just gotta go through the process. So when God promises something, there's always a process. When you ask for something, you asking right now for something and you're like, oh my God, Lord, you're not hearing me. I'm drowning. It's because the process that you have to go through is drowning you. And why? Sometimes you're being drowned because he's protecting you from your enemy that can't swim. Have you thought about that? We complain, and not realizing that we're being protected. And even in isolation, we're being protected. Ain't that awesome? God is so good. Check yourself. Yes, EFB, check yourself. Check yourself. You on your own. You're on your own, say. Okay? Hello, girl, dad. Welcome in. How are you today? Welcome, brother. How are you? Okay, Sister David said, something to think about and consider. Who is possibly hindering my blessing growth? May be myself, yourself due to doubt or hold on. Hindering my maybe myself, yourself, due to doubt or unforgiveness. Yes, ma'am. You better check yourself. Everybody's homework today. Go and check yourself. Figure out who you need to do surgery on yourself. Sometimes it's not even the people that's hindering us. We're hindering ourselves. Sometimes the surgery and the biblical cord is us from versus us. So go and check yourself. Figure out what it is that's causing you to be stuck in your space. What it is that's causing you to not get that promotion. What it is that's causing you to be where you're at right now. Why is it that, if you're married, why is it that you're seeing something that you feel you should have a little bit more and you're looking right and left? If you're married, sometimes that's what happens. We get caught up with the neighbor, with the next neighbor, with the neighbor in front. Well, they have blue flowers, so I guess I'll get purple flowers. We're always trying to keep up with the Joneses. Y'all know what I'm talking, especially those married women. Okay, y'all, I'm talking to you, to all my marriage folks. Check yourself, guys. Check yourself. I'm not saying that you got to stay where you're at. I'm not saying that you got to, you got to be settled. But I'm saying you need to grow through. You got to grow through together as one. Okay. So today you may not have brown bread, but you may have homemade bread, which is healthier. Okay. Just a little nugget. Be grateful. Be grateful. Be thankful. Okay. And then work and strive towards getting whatever else a little bit at a time. To all of my single ladies, look around. Check yourself. Why are you still where you at? Are you hindering yourself? Are you causing you not to grow? Are you causing that other person to maybe want to come, but a little bit scared? Are you what's going on that's causing somebody else, and why are you still there by yourself? Check ourselves. Today we are cutting them off. We're cutting everything off, doing surgery on ourselves today. Because this is what is needed for us to move. It's uncomfortable. I know y'all mad at me. Well, be mad. I'm all the way over here in Hawaii enjoying this heat. And y'all all over there. The only thing you can do is cut me off. And I know you ain't going to do that because you want to hear just what I'm going to say before I end. Yes, you do. I know. I love you too. Check yourself. If you're in a group with friends and you're the only it in the group, cut them off. If you at work doing all the projects and everybody else getting the benefit, check yourself. Cut them off. You got to isolate too. Sometimes the Lord cut us off and we run back to the same thing he just separated us from. Ain't that a joke? Huh. Wow. The process is in private. The process is not for everybody to know. That's why sometimes when you even fasting, it's for you and God. It's not for you and everybody. Hey guys, I'm going on fast today. I'm gonna eat this whole pizza today because tomorrow she going for 4 hours. I'll be fasting. Okay. You don't got to make no announcement because your process is private. I know it's a lot to think about. Moses spent his 40 years tending sheep and separated him from the glamour. He got separated. Remember with Pharaoh? Everything got separated. God stripped him so that he could become what he was called to be. God is stripping us down right now because I'm hitting some hot button for somebody. You're like, oh, I know the womb. I'm taking off those Band-Aids. We ain't putting no more Band-Aids down. We ain't covering. We ain't walking on no more eggshell. If you are in a situation right now, you need to do surgery on yourself. You need to rip off the band-aid, stop fixing things that God already removed you from. You go back to it. You remove you again, you go right back to it. You the problem. And you ain't growing and you ain't going because you are hindering you. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. David was anointed, like I mentioned, in front of his brothers, okay? But he was developed in the fields. We all got to go through the process, and some of us going to go through our process privately because it's nobody's business what you went through in your past. That's between you and God. You understand what I'm saying? So why you gotta that's your private isolation, and you need to work on you, and you need to let it go too. You think about it, you cry about it, you know, acknowledge it and let it go. Keep it moving. Okay. And pray that to God to help you to be able to grow through the pain, because some things happen in our past that is hard to move forward because we keep dragging it in the next season. Some of us is still in that season. Some of us is still there in the when the people was heading to the promised land with Moses. They went around for 40 years. Why? Because that's how they think. They could not, the isolation, they still couldn't let go of the good old times. Because even in their isolation, by moving from their comfort zone, they had to move in order, and God say, move from that spot to the next spot, to the place that I tell you. And they didn't know where the place was, but they were oohing and ahhing and oohing and ahhing and oohing. And guess what? They never made it. All the old people that their thought process was just stuck back with Pharaoh, they died off. They died off. Who took the place after? Who took it after, right? Joshua. Have y'all, I know you all read that. I know you read that. And I think yes, you did. Why you all thought that Joshua was the one who led him? Because he was not stuck with the past. He was not, he cut it off. He was cut off. He cut them off. He didn't brought all those old nasty behaviors, all the nasty ways with him, because he grew up in the wilderness. He didn't grow up where everybody had the king and the king had them, mashing up all the straws and mud to make cement, or whatever lifestyle they had back then they felt was better than in that wilderness. They weren't used to it. Adaptation sometimes, is uncomfortable. But then he could not bring them in with the old thought process. New wine had to be placed in the new skins. They wanted the old skins with the new wine. It couldn't work. So they died. Every one of them died. They rebelled. They were just couldn't handle it. And I know many of us, we would never do that to God. We'd never say, Lord, you promised this. You were going to do this for me. You're going to do that for me. And you were just telling him all the things that he never did for you, right? I know we never do that. And we're still in the same cycle, because we have to let it go. The moment they decide to let it go was when everybody else was gone. That old thought process had to be eliminated and the new move forward. So be careful that sometimes we die and move to the other side, stuck in the old wines, trying to fit new beginnings in, and it's not going to work. Okay? You learn who you are when you are in isolation. That's where you're going to find your purpose. So all your pain, all the circumstances that you're going through right now, that's you trying to figure out, and you're fighting it too. Because some of you all are in situations and you're trying to figure it out. That's a good thing. You're going to find yourself in the pain. Growing pains, they call, growing pains. And one more thing is, I'm not changing to impress. I want to transform to obey. I want to say that one more time. I'm not trying here to change, to impress nobody. I ain't trying to impress none of y'all. I want to grow, really, genuinely grow, but I want to grow in obedience. I want to grow in obedience. And if I need to cut off and cut my way through, and sometimes surgery on me, guess what? That's what's going to have to be done. Okay? But I'm not here to impress none of y'all. I'm here to grow in obedience. All right, let's see what else anybody is saying down. Self-protection is self-preservation. Yes. Blessings. Everybody's saying blessed. If you haven't hit, thank you, Sister Mercy. I pray the Lord never need me to be in a prison. EFP said, I pray the Lord never need me to be in a prison. Oh, Lord, I pray so too. We don't want you in a prison, sister. No. Oh, yes. Girl, daddy, see, baked mango, habanero. Ooh. Oh, girl, dad, that sounds so delicious. We fare the most. Yes, the things we fare the most. Yes, EFB. Wow. Sounds delicious. Okay, she's talking to you. Hello, Real. Yes, the Real. Welcome, brother. So true. Hey, EFB. Blessings the Real. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, FB. Light 60 and all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Davis. Thank you. Mercy Cars say everything is predestined before our time. God knows everything about us before our time, even before we were even born. God got our life down already and set for whatever comes our way. Just be able to deal with it. Amen. There you go, sister. There you go, sister. That's true. Everything, he already knows the ending. So no need to fight because God already know the ending. Okay. Let's see what else is in there. Sister Davis say, yes, please show your appreciation, support by hit the bell. Absolutely. Mercy. Okay. Fleming said, she says, I didn't forget that story you share about seeing a few brothers before you enter the store. Okay. Okay. So she's talking to EFP. Let's see what else. I do no doubt it happened naturally. EFP. Yes, it happened naturally. People naturally will just fall away from you, because you are the one you're the rudder now. You're directing the ship. And they're the boat, and they can go where they want to go if they want to. Or a better example would be the horse and the cart. You're the horse, you're leading, and they could either follow you or they could detach themselves and go elsewhere, fall down a hill or something. God forbid they don't get hurt, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? I would have been like, you trolling me. Oh, I'm happy you like it. Okay, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I actually used to play the piano. You did, Flemings. You still play the piano, Flemings? Sister Davis says, that's great, Sister Paulette. Setting boundaries, leading by example, and making a positive impact on those around you. That's big. When you can reach family, sometimes they're the hardest ones to help. Yes, there are the hardest ones to help. Your family, the one that you are so attached to, that only matter of time you're going to learn that the easiest way to allow them to grow and you to grow is to detach yourself. Sometimes that's the best thing. We must learn how to detach yourself. Okay. Okay, Nicole Barkas is laughing. Flemings just dropped Brother Jeremy. For those in the chats, Brother Jeremy's copy. Let me see if I could share this. Hold on, let me see. I think, yeah, so that's Brother Jeremy's and all the brothers. So there you go. For those that want to share the brothers page and Sister Nicole's and TNT's as well. Okay, let's see what else is in here. Sorry, guys, I am so behind in the chats. Greetings, Brother Jonah. How are you today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Sister. All right, Sister Dawn is talking to the real. Okay, the real, if you're still in here, Sister Dawn, hopefully you guys, communicated. And, I love all the stuff you all just communicate and just, connect. I love it. My dear brother Jonah, okay, they're talking. Greetings. Sister Nicole is mentioning. Let me see. I need a little. Let me see. Dawn Burrell, LOL, Dawn. Who else is up in here? Let me see. Ooh, these messages, you all are doing your thing because I can't even get to the end of these messages today. Sister Mercy say, I'm the way. I'm that same way, Sister Paulette. I will remove them just like a snap of the finger. I'm not with that. I'm straight to the point. I see you, Sister Mercy. You be writing like back in the old school days. She putting in number 2 and everything got me feeling like, whew. Okay, let me get it together now. Sister Mercy is all the way upgraded right now. Oh, straight to the point. And if they get upset, I'll tell them, talk to the Lord. Beck, they are the one with attitude. Exactly. You see there? That's it. That's it. It's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do about that. It's a training process. I agree. Yes, it is a training process. Flemings. Amen. Sugar said inspired. Brother Tyree. I was waiting on your live. And what happened? What happened, brother? I was waiting patiently, and all of a sudden you didn't move. I say, okay, brother, I'm gonna let you know that I was right there waiting on your live to come on today. Yes, I was. Brother Jonah said, who sent you? Not sure what I said. Brother Jonah is laughing. Whoa, Sister Paula, I was talking about keeping up with the Joneses with somebody today. Yeah, I know. Greetings, Sister Dawn. Georgina say, emotionally exhausting. Out you go. Trust breakers. Out you go. Drama magnet. Out you go. Subtle competitors. Out you go. My peace is priceless, I say, Paulette. You know? Snip. And you say, deuces. Don't forget that when you put a smile on it. Deuces. Yeah, that's what 2025. We are not harboring none of that around us. You got to just cut it off. Just cut it off nicely from the umbilical cord. Just cut, keep it moving. That's about it. Blessings, sis, Brother Tyree. Right on, sis. Dawn says she's talking to Brother Tyree. Georgina to subscribe. Dawn. I just sent my notification alert on Tyree. I just set my notification alert on Tyree. Didn't Brother Tyree change it for 3 something in the morning? Sister Dawn was telling me. Are you made a mistake, brother? Because 3 something in the morning, I'll be out. Okay. Well, no, I won't be at 3 something in Hawaii time. 3 something your time, I'm going to be out because Hawaii time I'll be up, but on at my devotions. The Isles call Patmos, Paulette. The Isles call Patmos. What was that, Georgina? Patmos? Not sure why you said that. Hi, Georgina. You got it. Because I'm so behind in the comments, when I'm catching up, I already forgot what I said at the beginning. So y'all apologize. I apologize. I don't know what she said. Hi, Miss Shea. Welcome. You said to check yourself, LOL. Oh, yeah. Okay, Brother Jonah. See, that's how you do it, Georgina. You got to tell me what I said. And then you said, okay, yeah, definitely. Y'all got to check yourself. Sometimes you got to cut ourselves from ourselves. Umbilical cord. Connect, disconnect, and get it together. Brother Jonah, in case those certain men show up. Snap. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have no trouble over here, Brother Jonah. Trust me. Nobody come over here with their foolishness. Everybody already know I have no tolerance for foolishness. And, and no problem with confrontation. So everybody know Paulette by now. But guys, with that, I am finished. I see Sister Khadijah say cut, cut. Yes, sister, cut, cut. With that, I'm finished, guys. You know, that's all I have for you guys. Anybody else have any anyone have any questions? I'm going to put the link so that way, if anybody want to just come up and talk for 2 seconds, they can, you know. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh. There we go. You know, if anybody want to just come up and share something, they can for a few seconds. And then if that's not, then you all go ahead, enjoy your family, enjoy the rest of your day. And I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today on Let's Talk. And today's topic was cut them off. And for you all to get all the nice little, you know, tips and little nuggets here and there, and you go back and re-listen to it. I hope you all enjoyed it. And this is a type of you know, conversations you guys enjoy, just let me know and I'll try to work on doing a little bit more of this. But I definitely want to base my channel in regards to encouraging, inspiring, and you know, empowering, motivating one another, so that way on a whenever you come over here, you can leave with something. I want you to take something with you. I hope you receive a little piece of this message and you can go home and do surgery on yourself in your own private space and just check yourself and figure out who you're going to detach from, who you're going to cut yourself away from. How are you planning on growing starting tomorrow? How are you planning on moving forward starting tomorrow? Make a plan. Prior planning prevents poor performance. And where you are today, I pray that tomorrow you'll move, because God is not going to activate until you move first. Okay? Move, get out of your own way, remove the people that's hindering you around you out of the way, cut them off if you have to in a gentle way. Remember, do it everything in decent and in order, but we must separate ourselves from the pack out of obedience to God. That's the topic for today. And with that, guys, I'm going to look through the comments one more time. When you mention about being on an island by yourself spiritually, at Paulette, there's a story. Oh, there you go, Fleming. See, didn't I send a link, sis? Yes, I did. Oh no, how do I do that? Oh my goodness. Now you all know the link. Yeah, I see the link there, Flemings. I sent the link, right? Now I am on an Android, so I have no idea what I just did. I went on vertical on StreamYard. So maybe that's why the link it function. It should still function though, because I see TNT be having a whole bunch of little heads on the side. So you all should still be able to come up, but I don't know why the little link is not blue. I have no idea. But Flemings, I get it now. Yep, on the island of Patmos. Yes, 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 yes. Got it, sister. Got it. Got it. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, let's see what else. God bless and stay blessed, encouraged until we meet again. Did you enjoy today's message? I hope you guys did enjoy this live as usual. Blessing and peace. Thank you, Sister Dawn. God bless you, Sister Paulette. Sister Mercy says to you and your family and all the chat. Thank you so much. Rice and peas, at Sister Dawn, Georgina said. Georgina said, where's my invitation, Dawn? Yes, Georgina. Paulette, you and EFP sent the message at the same time. I did. Oh, so nobody got, oh, okay, got it. Your link is in the chat. Yes, the link is in the chat for anybody that wants to come on. However, though, I'm on a different device. So if you guys try to come on, I don't see y'all popping up, so I'm assuming that everybody's doing what they got to do today. And just know, thanks, Georgina. I'm eating ice cream. Oh my God, you're eating, what flavor? You're going to make me go eat my ice cream today. Now, y'all know when I eat ice cream, We gonna laugh. We gonna laugh till I get energized. I have a coffee caramel pecan ice cream, and now I want ice cream too. I want ice cream too. Ground turkey. Oh, y'all are eating up in here. Oh, Sister Mercy say I'm doing stir fry with carrot, string beans, with seasoned ground, very healthy, and on salted crackers. Send me some food, please. Send me some food. Oh my gosh, you guys definitely are getting me these chats. Well, I'm so glad that you all had an amazing time. Thank you guys for your support. And thank you guys for always coming back here to Life with Paulette. See you guys tomorrow, because not until the 7th of October, I will go back to my normal schedule, which is Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. Like I mentioned prior, my channel is about inspiring, encouraging, empowering each other, and also motivating each other to go ahead and get that money. Okay. And by the way, I apologize. Yesterday, I did not do shmoney talk. I got wrapped up. I was going to do shmoney talk today, and then I ended up with you guys on this topic. I probably will do something a little bit later if DoorDash be nice to me, I'll be nice to it. And maybe I'll come on a little bit later if nobody else is coming on. But I know Brother Ham is coming on at 3. That's where he's set for. Oh, your birthday is October 4th. Oh, awesome. My mom's birthday is the 17th of October. You're Libra. Well, oops, we can't say that. But anyway, let's see. Dawn said, I've been having too much ice cream, time to take a break. Well, I'm sorry. Ice cream is never too much for me. I love me a nice smooth ice cream. So I'll go have an ice cream. You all have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining. And I'll see you guys next time. Deuces. Okay. I just want y'all to know that's what happens when you have new phones and I can't find the X button. Okay, devil. I think it's this one. There we go. Nope, that's not it either. What? I can't cut it off. EFP, where are you at? Help me. So, by the way, the next topic for today is going to be, hey guys, I don't know how to end this thing. I'm trying to figure out the button, and it's not giving me. I hit X. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. And he holla, let him pay $30 every day. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I'm doing. EFP, what to do? Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. Do you guys know? But you know what? through every adversity. This is a learning lesson. God always come through. Okay? Because I just had fun while I was trying to figure out how to turn you all off. And boom, my eyes adjusted to the bottom that says in big, it says end live. Did you all see how that works? I was looking on top because when I'm this way, it's on the top when I'm on my other phone. So I click every button on top. The devil had me blinded. I couldn't see that the button says end right down here. Hmm? But I know you all had fun. Didn't you laugh? Isn't that great to see that we be tested consistently, but we overcome, but we push through it? Because ain't nothing but small thing. I knew I was going to win at the end of the day. He was trying to block me, but God always come through. He always showed up right on time. And y'all saw me sweating. Look at me. I'm sweating. I'm like, Lord, I can't be that slow that I can't even X. I hit the X here. It was an X up there. It was a 3 button there. It was even a StreamYard. It had my picture. I said, oh, maybe if I click it, it will give me the option. Every button I click left me on live, guys. You see that? I'm talking some truths today, and I just hope. See, God don't want me to leave. He want me to continue waking up that greatness inside of y'all so y'all could be checking yourself. You see that? That's what he did. What did Fleming saying? Oh my God, you guys are laughing at me. Uh, let me see. No, for sure, you ain't no lawyer because you having a hard time closing. I know, right? But I am not the law. I'm not the lawyer, honey. I'm the judge. Okay, so I had to stick around for the last word because the last word was sent from above. Even though all the prosecution was trying to isolate me, I came in with the hammer and I said that I was going to hit the end button, and then all of a sudden my eye opened up. Boom, is right there. It say end. So when you're in vertical form, guys, don't be, and you're not on your iPhone, don't look up. You look to the side, right down to the side, and that's the end button. I love y'all. I'm gonna do my whole speech again, and I'm gonna say patty cakes. Sister Mercy, I had to figure something out. I was genuinely lost. Okay, call Mr. Hogan. Yeah, no worries. But he probably on a delivery right now. Sis, he don't play around this time. Just he's getting his money. All right, Judge. Yes, ma'am. I was not the lawyer, honey. I was the judge. That was good. I didn't know that was gonna come out, Flemings, but that was a good one. You set it up real good too. Well, God is a judge, honey. And he came on, and he showed me. But I found it because I forgot EFP don't have Androids either. She has a Apple like myself. We look for the top. Android have all their buttons all over where they shouldn't be in the first place. I don't know who can understand Androids. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I love you all so much. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you until next time. Deuces, and I'm hitting the end button onto the bottom. Boom.